Yo, what's up guys? You got pokeaim here, and we are at A-Drive's house, of course, as I usually am during Pokemon DLC and events. And today we have a Galarian Zapdos Moveset video guide, how to use Galarian Zapdos. This is a very basic guide. If you guys like competitive Pokemon, feel free to subscribe. I'll be uploading this. I have a Showdown live coming out later today using this Pokemon, as well as hopefully a Wi-Fi battle later tonight. It all just depends on how much stuff I can get done before I gotta sleep before my 1 a.m. shift. But I like Galarian Zapdos a lot, right? Fighting and flying, fantastic. Its move, Thunderous Kick, is 90 base power with and it lowers your defense when it hits you. So it's awesome for wall breaking. It has Brave Bird as coverage. Unfortunately, this Pokemon does not have Roost, just like the other Galarian birds for whatever reason. Though Articuno does have Recover, which works in a sense, but it does suck that this Pokemon does not have Roost, because I think that kind of weakens how good or how strong it could have been. But nonetheless, base 125 attack with Defiant as well. So being able to get a boost from things like Intimidate and drops from like things like Moonblast, which you do live even though you are weak to, are pretty cool, especially with its pretty nice bulk all around, base 90 all around. So the first set we have is Choice Band. This is using Galarian Zapdos as a wall breaker. This hits incredibly hard with strong moves like Brave Bird and Close Combat. You're going to be running Jolly, max attack, max speed. I think you want Jolly. You want to be faster than Pokemon like Hydreigon, Genesect, anything below base 100, Excadrill, opposing Landorus, Therian as well. And we go Close Combat over Thunderous Kick just because on a Choice Band set, you want to hit as hard as you can, as much as you can. So Thunderous Kick eventually can become stronger within like 3 or 4 hits, but Close Combat is initially stronger for the first 2 hits. So it's better on a Choice Band set, and it's good. But again, I do slash Thunderous Kick just in case you want to use it to wall break or weaken someone's stats for an opposing Pokemon coming out. This Pokemon has access to U-Turn, which is awesome on a Pokemon that can hit and run. So U-Turn's great. You can go for that if you're not entirely sure what they're going to bring out. Maybe they have like an Age Slash on their team or a Tapu Koko, and you don't want to necessarily take recoil or predict. So U-Turn is nice for that momentum coming in, or you don't want to take recoil from your Brave Bird. And then the last move is Stomping Tantrum. I choose Stomping Tantrum on the Choice Band set because it gives you a way of hitting Age Slash as well as Tapu Koko super effectively. Not that Tapu Koko is really going to be appreciating Brave Birds in close combats, even though it does resist. But Stomping Tantrum just gives you that way of hitting Age Slash, and I think it's just really important. Unfortunately, this Pokemon's coverage moves on the last move are between Stomping Tantrum, Blaze Kick, and Throat Chop. It does not get Stone Edge, which kind of sucks because regular Zapdos completely walls Galarian Zapdos. But I do think that Stomping Tantrum is better than things like Throat Chop and Blaze Kick, at least on a Choice Band set. Now, the next set we have is a Bulk Up set. Now, I feel like this has a lot of items that it can slash, by the way, but I feel like this set can work in both 6v6 singles as well as Battle Stadium 3v3. But Bulk Up is really nice because you're still using it as a setup sweeper. And Life Orb Thunderous Kick into Brave Bird knocks out so many Pokemon. Like physically defensive Clefable, the roll is ridiculously in your favor even after leftovers with Thunderous Kick into Brave Bird. So it's awesome that you have that. We have Bulk Up, of course, Bulk Up raising its attack and defense, which is the reason why we have Thunderous Kick over Close Combat. We don't want to bulk up and then just lower our stats right after. Though it would be really cool if Defiant work that way. Like if you lowered your own stats, you'd actually be raising your attack. That'd be broken. And then the last move is either Stomping Tantrum or Blaze Kick. Now, the reason we have Blaze Kick initially is because Pokemon like Corviknight can still do a lot to you even if you bulk up and hit them with Thunderous Kick. I think having that initial way of doing damage to them is a little bit better than waiting for the defense drop, because Brave Bird, Rocky Helmet, plus your own Life Orb Recall, you're going to be taking so much damage from that. And it's still good for Pokemon like Aegislash, but it also means that you don't have to take recoil and die versus Pokemon like Amoonguss as well, which you can be fearing out. And, you know, same thing with Aegislash, but also Pokemon like Celesteela too. They don't appreciate Thunderous Kick, but Blaze Kick is super effective. But you can also run Stomping Tantrum if you want. Cool thing, if you go for like a Thunderous Kick on an Aegislash switch-in and it fails, Stomping Tantrum is actually doubled in power the next turn. So that's nice. You get a nice stronger attack versus it. Also, just to know, it doesn't matter if Aegis/King shields versus you during any attack. That's actually a bad play because that's going to be raising your attack because of Defiant. So Life Orb is one of the options you can run. Leftovers as well for longevity. I think that if you're playing on Battle Stadium, I think Weakness Policy is a fantastic one because you can just Dynamax your Galarian Zapdos. And, you get the max Airstream for the speed boost, you get the max Knuckle for the attack raises, and on top of that, you have the bulk. It's base 90 across, so you get that bulk, you have the weakness policy, you activate that, you can just straight up sweep with this Pokemon. But the last item, which can also be very, very fun, especially in a metagame that might have a lot of Landorus, is Adrenaline Orb. You use that when Intimidate activates, you get the speed. So you get that speed, plus you're getting the attack raise with Defiant. This is going to be really, really fun. It's funny because Galarian Zapdos, we'll be talking about the Choice Scarf set right now, but Choice Scarf Galarian Zapdos is a good check to Thunderous Kick Galarian Zapdos, right? Because once they lower your defense, you resist it, but you get the Defiant raise as well. So Choice Scarf Galarian Zapdos attempts to use this thing's high speed and Defiant to its advantage. Again, being a Choice Scarfer that's faster than Pokemon like Excadrill, Landorus, Hydreigon is really, really, really good for this Pokemon. So we have Brave Bird, Close Combat, and U-Turn as the first three moves. Jolly, again, the EV spreads on these are very, very similar. They're very basic, but I feel like on Scarf, Bandit, and Setup, at least Setup without leftovers, you want to run, like if you're running Life Orb, I think you just want to run max. You want to get the most out of your Pokemon. So Choice Scarf, Brave Bird, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Stomping Tantrum or Blaze Kick. I don't think the last move necessarily matters on the Choice Scarf set because it's a little bit weaker. But I guess like if Coco comes in on you and you go for Stomping Tantrum, you'll 2-hit KO them and you'll be faster. So that's worth it. Otherwise, Blaze Kick is cool on the Choice Scarf set, specifically if Genesect is allowed in your metagame. Or like you're worried about Scizor. It gives you a way of being faster than Choice Scarf Genesect and dealing with it. And it also obviously hits Scizor for the super effective hit too and the KO. So again, using Choice Scarf in that. But for the most part, you're going to be clicking Brave Bird and U-Turn on this Pokemon. Next up, we have Assault Vest. And Assault Vest is interesting because Galarian Zapdos has, like I said, that interesting bulk. I feel like, again, you can play around with the EV spreads, but on this type of Pokemon, it doesn't necessarily have to be just max attack, max speed, but because the metagame has not developed, typically you will be adjusting your EV spreads toward the metagame, like what was I trying to say? Towards the metagame, two at the same time, toward the metagame, like what? But you will be adjusting your EV spreads courtesy of the metagame, right? So if something like Specs Dragapult is very, very, very common, you might EV your Galarian Zapdos to take, 2 Draco Meters, which I think it could do naturally anyway. From Specs Pult, maybe just because of the -2, I have to check that. But like Assault Vest Zapdos can still live like even Spec Shadow Balls, and that's pretty cool too because especially like let's say Aegislash goes for a Shadow Ball and they get that special defense drop, you'll get the Defiant boost as well, and then you threaten them. That's it. You got the Stomping Tantrum, U-Turn, Thunderous Kick, and Brave Bird. I think you definitely want Thunderous Kick on this one. Don't lower your defenses on a Pokemon that is going to try and be eating up random hits like that. But yeah, from like all the plethora of ghost types running around, like Gengar and Dragapult, or just using this as a soft check to like anything really. Like you'll eat a Moonblast from Clefable as well. You can Thunderous Kick and Brave Bird and still do a lot. You could run Drill Peck over Brave Bird as well if you don't want to take recoil damage on a Pokemon that is not really meant to take a hit, but more so can sponge a hit. So that's up to you. The next that we have is Taunt. I feel like Taunt has a really cool, has really cool like use. And it sucks that this Pokemon does not have Roost. It really sucks that this Pokemon does not have Roost because the Taunt Galarian Zapdos set with Taunt Roost, Thunderous Kick could have been amazing. Because you could just, if it had it, right, you could run a lot of bulk. But I do think that bulk on Galarian Zapdos is something you could play around with. Again, very basic EV spreads here. I did do 24 defense because with 24 defense and leftovers, you live 2 max attack Iron Heads from Excadrill. A non-Life Orb variant, like just an offensive variant of Excadrill, but non-Life Orb. So you have that, you have Brave Bird, Thunderous Kick, U-Turn, and Taunt. Taunt is there to stop setup, to stop recovery, and I think that's pretty cool too versus like Stall. So like, you hit something like Corviknight upon switch and they get a defense drop. You predict them to Roost, so you go for Taunt, that way they can't Roost. And then you can U-turn out into something that can take a Brave Bird. Like this plus like Magnezone are a very good pair, I feel, for like breaking like that. And this thing obviously doesn't care about Excadrill for Magnezone, so they work really well together in my opinion. But Brave Bird, Thunderous Kick, U-Turn, and Taunt. I do want to note that this Pokemon does have Rest and Sleep Talk. That's basically the recovery that it does have access to. And I also want to note that there's another set after, but so I think that in theory, you could try a Rest Talk bulk up set, and I'm sure we'll see someone win with it. And also, I'm sure like a defensive Zapdos could be interesting as well, with just Rest Talk, Thunderous Kick, Brave Bird type of thing. I didn't bother making a set yet because I want to explore the metagame a little bit more first. But if I show that in a video at some point in the near future, then obviously take that into account. But yeah, Leftovers is the preferred item. The last set, I think this is also specifically Battle Stadium singles oriented. We've seen a lot of Pokemon that have good speed in Battle Stadium singles that have access to counter and access to max airstream. You've seen Urshifu use like Focus Sash, counter, anti-lead. And then Pokemon that don't necessarily use max airstream but also have access to it, the counter rather, is like Focus Sash lead Zoroark, Focus Sash lead Lycanroc. They're basically there to get rid of the physical attacker, the Dynamaxer, and this is something that Zapdos can do as well. So the set is Focus Sash with, again, max attack, max speed, Brave Bird, close combat, counter, and Stomping Tantrum. And of course, in a Dynamax metagame, that becomes max Airstream, that becomes max Knuckle, and you have max Quake too to deal with something like Aegislash. But a Focus Sash anti-lead counter mon could be pretty cool for physical attackers, like Gyarados when it comes back, if it's allowed again, and other Pokemon like Rillaboom. You naturally check Rillaboom, which I think is really cool with Zapdos. This can always be substituted with Weakness Policy, but I think if you're using counter, you want to use Focus Sash, just so you're guaranteed to take a hit at least at full HP, even from something like Galarian Darmanitan's Icicle Crash. If they're Choice Scarf, and ideally don't flinch you go for counter and you knock them out. But that's basically all I have for Zapdos. It's going to be a very, very, very fun Pokemon. One of the best answers to it is going to be a regular Zapdos. Like Galarian Zapdos will definitely be checked by regular Zapdos. But all in all, I think it's going to be a fun Pokemon. I really hope that in the future it gets access to Roost. And I hope that in the future it also gets access to like something like Stone Edge. Another honorable mention in terms of moves you can use is like Agility. Like Agility 3 attacks could be your way of sweeping this Pokemon as well, if you like to try. But hope you guys all enjoyed. Of course, subscribe and leave a like if you did enjoy the content. Expect the Galarian Zapdos Showdown live later today. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye, my friends.